Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Defender's Quest, Valley of the Forgotten. Since last time, I did a little bit of grinding, got some more levels. That was all on the second star of this, or no, it was on the third star of the one previous. I'll run over there real quick. On this one, the third star of that battle there is where I was doing my grinding. And so I'm going to, something else real quick. On the main title screen, you can get these books, the Book of Secrets, the Book of Faith, and the Anonymous book, by clicking on the Secrets button underneath the Start and Options. Now this book, supposedly, I haven't worn it around, but supposedly on certain maps you can get, or here, I'll put it on, I'll go ahead and put it on. Then Anonymous only works in the extreme challenges. It's the third gold star. Defenders become anonymous, gain plus 3% chance to dodge and 2x damage versus trolls. And then Book of Face only works on extreme challenges. Enemies will randomly update their status with new faces. I'll go ahead and show those off, or at least that one. The Book of Secrets makes this available for one, which makes a couple of different things available, and I haven't figured out what to do here. I don't know if it's a combination of selections. Or what? It seems like the longer you hold the click on that flute, the longer the note goes. But yeah, I don't know what else you can do here. I'll try to figure it out and maybe show that off a little bit more. I think that's the only side area that the Book of Secrets shows. But if you go into certain maps, like I'll go ahead and do this battle just to show off the Book of Face. If you go into certain maps, and I don't know if this is one of them, you can get, there's supposed to be some indication that there's a secret. But I don't know what maps for sure that happens on. This is pretty much exactly how I was grinding. Get those guys boosted a little bit, start the battle, and then start getting other people in. I put him up there because this healer starts taking a little bit too much damage if there's not someone else up there to tank a little bit of that. The healers I put where they are, just to reveal the smoky critters. But mostly the rangers can take care of everything. See, there's some status updates on some of them. They're dying a little bit too quickly to see it, most of it. But there was some status updates there. They get like little smiley faces or whatever, and sometimes they pause. Alright, now enemies with that max, any enemies below 18% hit points get nommed. And then something else I want to do is these bonuses. We have more unlocked. I have 61 gold stars. We'll hit the challenge number 2. No archers or dragons and only 6 defender points. What to do? Well, this one's not too bad. Just stick him there, boost him up, and you can pretty much end it there. I'll go ahead and stick. Usually, if you're playing with no generic recruits, I'll put the ice mage right behind him, and that won't hardly ever get past that. And if they do, then I put Bakal here because he has the next AoE attack, and then Marcos here, and then I'll move them around if I have to. But as you can see, Slack can pretty much handle this battle. Now there's 39 more waves to sit through. Because then there are some armored enemies, but unless you do this first thing, as soon as it's available, unless you do this challenge as soon as it's available, they won't cause too much of a problem. And if they do, you could always just move everybody back and put Marcos in the first slot to start cracking down on some armor. But in my experience, they hardly ever get past Slack here. Especially if you have decent equipment. If you have Evney, then they're done. This challenge is probably the easiest, even though you don't have any archers, rangers. Then what my plan is for the rest of this video is I'm going to try to go through as many of the challenges as I can, and then I'm going to show both of the ending battles. Hopefully I can win. Hopefully I can beat the red man, or the golden man this time. And then I'm going to start working on my next playthrough, which is going to be with only generic recruits, and I'll do the first game off screen, and then I'll start the new game plus. Because there's other content that's not available in the first playthrough, and that just makes sense. But I'm going to do it with no generic recruits. The battles in a new game plus are considerably more difficult. So I'll also be playing on 300% experience and 300% scrap. But that's after I finish this playthrough. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm enjoying myself playing with generic recruits. It's almost overpowered because with a second berserker here, there's no way they're getting by. Let's see, he's got 243 attack. He's got 230, so he's almost as strong as Slack. There's no way. And if they do start to worry me, I can start throwing out some of these spells. Just for giggles, why not? Oh, I guess I can only put crystals in the same places where I can put my team, so I can't do that. I'll throw out some dragon fire the next time we get these monstrosities to start popping open. Why not? 3 more waves that are not uncovered yet. 6 more to go total. 5 more. I have more side that I can spend. That's another strategy you could use, I guess. You could just put your berserker there in the front spot and catch whatever rolls by with lightning. You'll have more than enough psi. And we got Furious Start. Newly summoned defenders have Frenzy, and that is extremely useful. I'm going to put that over the Book of Secrets. I'll show how that's employed. Alright, Challenge 3. A multi-front battle. Now, I don't remember exactly what this one is. Okay, yeah. This one's pretty difficult if you don't have generic recruits, but I put Keta here. And I usually put Slack on this other side because they're basically my 2 strongest damage dealers for most of the enemies. And Keta will hold off this side and Slack will hold off this side, but it's not as simple as just that. Sometimes it's better to put him there because you're going to have swimmers that come right up the middle. And I'll put my dragon on this side, Ice Mage on this side, and then my healer can get all of them from right there. And then Marcos, I would hold off on putting him in until I have more psi or I find out where he's needed. But because I'm using generic recruits, and this is pretty much demonstrates the greatness of having 4 rangers, I'm going to set them up a little bit differently. I'm still going to hold off on my knights. I'm not sure where I want to put them. But I do know I want to boost my rangers and my berserkers. And at least this outside dragon so he can start spitting fire over there. Then I'll just go around the circle and get my rangers boosted up. This shouldn't be too difficult with 4 rangers, but it's still entirely possible that I'll fail. Get both of them to whirlwind, then I'll start boosting my ice mages. At least this inside one. And then I'll go back to this. Well, I'll get Sleet. I'll get Alina to Sleet. And then I'll go back to this dragon to get Fireball. Max snack. Get group heal on my healers. Ooh. They're starting to get to where they can get in a lot closer. Now everybody that's on the map is boosted pretty much as far as I need to. I guess I can get them to Zeal. That'll help out as well. Now all that's left is getting the knights in here. I think I'll put Marcos here and Rent here. And once they're fully boosted, I'll start demonstrating Furious Start and how I use it. Once I start getting Psy built up with them completely, with everybody completely boosted. Now if you have Frenzy available, then you might as well just use Frenzy. Because it costs only 35 Psy. And it gets the whole team frenzied. So now, the other method is you can recall a defender, put them right back in, same spot and everything, boost them back up if you have enough Psy, and then they have Frenzy. That's Furious Start is really good for that. But it's actually had a practical use, where most of the books are just fluff. So yeah, my Psy is full and they're starting to get close, so I'll recall and set my berserkers back out, get Frenzy on them. See, and when you recall them, you get like 75% of the spent Psy back, so I mean, they're not even really costing me anything. I could just keep doing that, but I don't really need to. It's much more important if you're playing with no generic recruits. Yeah, it's not bad with generic recruits. That actually makes it a lot easier. Oh, I need a defensive skill. That level. Light of Judgment. Casting Heal also applies blind to all enemies, but the spell cost is ×2 and cooldown is ×2. So I don't really find that one to be all that useful. Let's see where I'm at on time. That's probably all the time I have for this episode. When we come back, I'll work on those other bonus challenges.